Hey guys, and welcome back to what is probably going to be, actually no, should be, the final video for Phobia the Awakening. I've gone out and I've collected all 6 tapes. So if you saw the last video, we saw the first tape. I'm going to look over it again. And I wanted to at least actually have all of them together to actually go off one by one. And also, quick note about the Night 6 tape. The Night 6 tape only appears once you've gathered every other tape. So you have to have the tapes from Nights 1 through 5 before getting to Night 6. Which, also quick note, I knew those cabinets were used for something. I was wondering, why the hell can you open the cabinets? And that's why, because one of the VHS tapes were hidden in the cabinet. So they don't just appear in your camera view. In the cameras, they can also appear in those cabinets. And the Night 6 tape for me showed up right in front of my desk. Alright, so I haven't actually loaded the screen since I got that. And so you see here we have tapes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in this one, instead of saying 6, it says Timmy's birthday. Now, I don't think I've shown this. No, I haven't shown this in a video. But Timmy is one of the missing children. When I was looking over, I'll probably pull it up real quick actually at this point, but when I was looking over the images of the missing children's posters, one of them was called Timmy. Another note was that all 3 children went missing on the same day, April 12th, 1996, I believe. So that explains why they went missing. If there was a birthday party, all 3 might have been in attendance. So we're gonna real quick go through each of the tapes, and then I'll give my thoughts on what is happening, I guess. So I mean, Night 1 is gonna be the Night 1 tape is gonna be like a quick recap, but this is basically a tape of an employee testing Murray. All right, and this was 9 years approximately after the missing children's incident at this place. So they're going through and they're activating the animatronic. You know, they're in their active mode now. And so they're noting now that it was a success. And then they start testing different stances for Murray. And so far, everything's going well. He's responding to the commands correctly. He's doing the correct poses. But all of a sudden, when they try doing the 3rd stance, he doesn't react. Which is like, alright, let's try that again. But this time, he changes stance, and I'm assuming it's not the correct stance. He just stares right at you. Lazy eye's kind of gone, so they try resetting him. They shut him down. They reactivate him, and then all of a sudden, he just peers right into your eyes. It's like he gets way close to your face, and then that's the end of the tape. So we don't know what actually happened to that employee. For example, it's in the same location that we're in. And I'm hoping that maybe these tapes will help answer what happened to Mark, or maybe learn something new about the figure. Who knows? But we're gonna go on to tape 2 now. We're gonna see what this is. I wonder if this is them testing the different animatronics, or if they're just different tapes. Ooh, what's this? Very colorful. Cook Robotics.
Attention staff. We believe we've found the issue with our animatronics. The unused AFRS seems to have been reactivated and cannot be
Advanced face
deactivated.
recognition
It
system.
has been known to cause malfunctions in the past, sending the animatronic into a dangerous looping state. We advise our team to not directly face the animatronics while they are malfunctioning to prevent further issues. They should eventually stop and return to their previous state. We're not going to play games here anymore. Whoever reactivated the AFRS needs to speak up now, unless it's activated by itself somehow. The last programming engineers gave up and left, so we're not getting anywhere until this is finished and functioning the way it should. Thank you for your time.
Okay, so this has to do with an advanced facial recognition system. And in one of the phone calls, there was a mention that I believe after the day of the incident, the phone guy, Matthew, tells you that you should try and not look at the animatronics directly too much, and maybe that's why, to try and minimize the amount of contact you have, or direct eye contact you have with them, due to that advanced facial recognition system, because there seems to be some sort of malfunction in the way they seem to interact with guests. I'm gonna rewatch that because it's kind of hard to tell what he's saying. Alright, so I understand what the tape is kind of saying then. So the AFRS, right, was a system that they had deactivated within the animatronics. But one day, it seemed to have been reactivated again, which apparently gives them the ability to walk when it's active, which might explain why they're active throughout the nights. Now, the company has gone and said that they encourage everyone to avoid any sort of direct eye contact with these animatronics because while the system's active, it seems to cause like they've been malfunctioning with the system being activated, and it seems to cause the animatronics to go into a dangerous looping state, according to their words. And so that's why they encourage everyone to keep as little eye contact as possible, avoid as much eye contact as possible. And then they went on saying that whoever reactivated the system should speak up. We're not playing games unless the system reactivated by itself. And so that is the issue. I guess that kind of ties into why they're malfunctioning in the first place. It's this advanced facial recognition system that's pretty much gave them the ability to walk of their own free will, right? And as a result, they seem to be able to carry out whatever actions they want. And that might be part of the reason why Murray malfunctioned in the first tape, because if that system was activated, right, obviously while they're doing the testing, there's going to be eye contact, and that might have ended up causing Murray to enter that weird state. And so this seems to have been happening with all the animatronics, but that seems to be the case. And I should have mentioned this earlier, I suppose, but according to the company, they are unable to deactivate it. So that's why, like, even after a night, we're still like guarding with them, like going all over the place. It's because they are unable to disable the system. That's why they're going to eventually scrap these animatronics, because they're beyond the point of repair at this point. Hey there, it's me editing. I kind of have a bit of a theory now about this facial recognition system, and I kind of wanted to put it in here before moving on to the other tapes. So one key detail, or I guess not even a key detail, it's a very minor detail that I kind of looked over, and I literally just caught onto it while watching that last video, or while editing that last video, excuse me. So we know that the facial recognition system, the AFRS, is, putting these animatronics in a dangerous loop. It lets the animatronics walk. Alright, so here in the Murray test, which I'm predicting is when this system went on, right, he was activated, and he's going through the different motions. And there was a small detail about all the animatronics that I thought meant that they were on, right? But that is not the case, because here, that detail isn't shown right now. You don't see that detail yet, and it's going to show up soon. Right after he starts malfunctioning. Glowing white eyes. That's the detail that I've sort of realized I think means that the AFRS is activated within the animatronic, because it's never shown within any of the animatronics in general, right, when they're on stage, only when they start moving, which makes sense because the AFRS kind of gives these animatronics the capability to walk. And as you see, this is something that's repeated throughout the nights. Here, for example, you'll see Greg, Jeff, and Anthony still on stage, no glowing white eyes, but Murray, his eyes are glowing as soon as he starts moving. Now, the only exception to this rule is Jimmy the Elf over here, because his eyes don't really glow the same, and he's the only animatronic that's technically stationary. He doesn't actually move, he just lunges at you. So he's the only exception, and none of the other tapes, I guess spoiler alert, give you any indication as to who Jimmy is or why he's different from the others. And so I have nothing on that. So basically, I think that the glowing white eyes is basically it's basically a sign telling the employees that this is basically supposed to it's an indication that the system is being used, alright, or that the system is now activated, which is why I think in tape 1, it shows why in tape 1, even after shutting down the animatronic, the system was still on, which is why these animatronics had to get scrapped, because they were at a point where if turning them off and turning back on doesn't reset the system or disable it, they're pretty much donezo. They can't deactivate them as it is, and turning them off isn't gonna, remove it. They're pretty much useless. They might as well scrap the animatronics. So that's my little theory on what those glowing white eyes are supposed to mean, instead of just, oh, that's because they're on. Because that's what I thought it was, because of, I mean, when you look at glowing white eyes for animatronics, that's something you normally see in a lot of these games, and you just think, oh, it means they're on. But the developers kind of sneaky, what I assume is they were kind of sneaky, and they kind of utilized those glowing white eyes characteristic for something more important than just, oh, they're on. So with that said, back to the rest of the tape analysis for the other tapes. So now let's go into the third tape. I had to listen to that tape a couple times because it was kind of hard to make what they were saying without the static.
I don't know if this is a good idea.
What is?
The idea of working for that other company. You know that they've got their own past with stuff, right?
I understand that you are paranoid because of the current situation, and yes, I am aware of their past. It was only one incident, and that was years ago. They've done a handful of other things and everything was fine. Let's just focus on getting this stuff fixed up right now. I can't confirm if the decision of working with them is final.
What do you think is wrong?
Not a clue, sadly. Some things, very wrong.
Alright, so this ties in to after the night 4, I think after the night 4, I don't know exactly which phone call, but there was a mention of a call where the company behind Wiggles Pizzeria, whatever their name is, was going to work with another company, right? And they're gonna, I mean, that's literally what is gonna happen in the sequel. Or at the end of night 6, you have a newspaper saying that, you know, two companies are gonna work together to open a new restaurant. And so if that's the restaurant they are talking about, then there's some concerns about that restaurant's past as well. They had an incident as well, which was years ago, but we don't know what incident they're talking about exactly. So it kind of points to the shady past of maybe another company. And it shows to the kind of, I guess, how desperate this company was to deal with their animatronics, because something, as the guy said, is very wrong. Something is going on with these animatronics. This facial recognition system that is unable to be disabled, right? That seems to have activated on its own unless someone sabotaged the animatronics. But as you can see, night 4 should be interesting because it's a bloody, the tapes, which is a nice little detail. As you go on throughout the night, the tapes start getting a bit like dirtier. Night 1 is kind of pristine, 2 is a bit dusty, 3 has like more grime on it, and 4, which is the night where the phone call mentioned the incident, is now starting to bloody. It's bloody now. So this should be interesting. Testing Captain, yes. Something especially wrong with Captain. I said that something with the Captain is weird compared to the others. So they're activating him. Whoa. What the? Oh, what the? Success. What? Can we like get off the screen now? Holy! That's the incident they were talking about. It was an incident with an employee. I'm gonna have to break down the images and I'll have to analyze those separately, I guess, because I don't really feel like going through that tape again, really. Especially since it's only a few frames. Ugh. So that's interesting because after night 4, so for one, I assumed that the whole success thing was marked by a person. Alright, I thought that was basically like someone saying success, but I don't know at this point. It depends on how those success keywords are being used, I guess. I don't know. But it says success afterwards. So the question is, who or what is saying success? Is that, like, why is that considered success? And it also suggests that night 4, that incident happened and like we were still working there, which is weird. Why are we still working there when an employee has clearly, like, seemingly died to one of the animatronics. Why are we still working there? And there's no sign of blood or anything. The only sign of blood in that room is after night 5, which is when Mark seemingly gets turned to an animatronic. And now we're gonna have to see night 5. And that testing captain was a few days after Murray. What the hell? Warning to all employees. Stay away from all animatronics at all costs. I mean, damn, Mark could have really used that. This includes the various endoskeletons inside of the warehouse. Stay out of the warehouse. Please refrain from telling friends or family about the issue. We will be dismantling all the animatronics tonight, which explains why night 6 they're not there. Thank you for your cooperation. But they didn't get to dismantle all of them. I'm gonna try. Alright, so that was the message. It was a warning about the animatronics saying that they were all being dismantled. But what was the audio? That seems to be the real interesting part. I couldn't tell what it was. Let me try and listen. Let me listen to the audio without reading this time. That sound like a scream. Clanging. More clanging. That might be someone screaming. Maybe that explains why they got the core 4, all 4 animatronics on the stage they managed to get rid of, but they never got rid of Jeff, or not Jeff, they never got rid of Jimmy or the captain. Which, the more I go through this, I'm convinced Jimmy is part of a festive update. They just made the game harder that way. Because I haven't seen anything on Jimmy. Rhymes with Timmy. And now we're gonna see the birthday tape. Oh god. I couldn't make that out at all. I thought that was happy birthday. The figure. Kids. All 3 kids. Oh, whoa, okay. Who's a happy? Oh. Well, guess it's safe to say they're not missing anymore. Okay. And now I know why this guy's so bloody. I thought it was Mark's blood. Safe to say it's not. Or at least not just his blood. If there is his blood on there. What the hell? Oh, I really don't want to rewatch that. Now what's weird, right, is that they're clearly at what it seems to be the restaurant, or maybe in the warehouse. The question is, why are they there? Who's holding this birthday party for them? Right? That's what's so weird. Because why would they be there by themselves? Where are the parents? If it was a birthday party, right? Why are they? I thought if they were missing, it's because they might have been led away by an animatronic, but it seemed like they were all like, they had birthday cake, just sitting there. They were all, pretty much enjoying themselves, and then the figure was just there. Wow. When you look at the state of the animatronics, we know Captain Feathersword appears to have blood on his right leg, but we know he's killed someone. But Anthony has a lot of blood on his legs. God damn, Mark, what the hell did they do to you? And the figure, just, what is it? Even the endoskeletons can't be trusted. Greg has blood on him, which makes sense because he put the head on Mark. But Anthony has blood. We know Captain Feathersword does. Jeff seems to be fine. And Murray also seems to be fine. I don't know. Interesting though. We learned a bit more now about the missing now we know those children aren't so missing anymore. but still a lot of questions in terms of like why is the system malfunctioning so much? Why are they so violent? Was it done automatically? Is this the case of like rogue AI, or was there some sort of sabotage behind the scenes? Questions that hopefully will be answered in the sequel, I guess. With that said, I hope you did enjoy this. It was pretty interesting going through like a lot of those tapes were pretty interesting. I was not expecting. I don't know. I feel like I've been left with more questions than answers sometimes, but I enjoyed that. I really like that. I don't know. I haven't had this much fun in a game in a while. A FNAF fan game specifically, I guess. Like in terms of the story, like trying to figure out what's happening. But I don't know. In general, this was very fun. Well, with that said, I hope you did enjoy. Game's link is in the description as always. If you want, you can like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed. And I hope to see you in another video. Take care.